Hi, Dr. Dave here to look at the 10 most famous shots by the greatest of all time, Efren Bata, the magician Reyes. And these aren't trick shots, they are real shots from real matches. The source videos for these and many other famous Efren match shots are linked in the video description. This is arguably Efren's most famous shot. The game is 9-ball, and Efren needs to get a hit on the 5. This shot is very tough, especially if you hope to pocket the 5 in the corner. Top left spin is required to get the necessary angle off the first cushion, and the aim, speed, and amount of spin must be perfect. A link in the video description describes a system for aiming 2-rail Z kick shots like this, but it is not very helpful here due to the large angle and side spin required. After playing around with the shot sum, I found what I thought was a good line of aim, which I've marked on the rail with a golf tee. If you aim to the left of the tee, use too little speed, or use too much side spin, the cue ball goes long of the target. If you aim to the right of the tee, use too much speed, or use too little side spin, the cue ball comes up short of the target. It took me 22 attempts before I pocketed the ball, and that's after I knew what I thought was the best line of aim. Efren amazingly aimed and pocketed the shot on the first attempt in a high-stress match situation. I now have an even greater appreciation for how awesome Efren's shot was. Here's my successful attempt. As with Efren, I even got good shape on the 6 to finish the run out. The game was 10-ball, and Efren needed to get a hit on the 1. The 15-ball should have been the 3. Sorry about that. Efren decided to kick off the side pocket point. If you have practiced this type of shot before, it isn't very difficult, but you need to hit the right amount of the point to get the required kick angle. If you hit too much of the point, the cue ball rebounds back too much. And if you don't hit enough of the point, the cue ball goes forward and hits the other point. And even if you get a good line, you can still scratch. The 8 can also get in the way. Ideally, you also get shape on the 2 to continue shooting. All of these things make the shot tougher than you might expect. It took me about 10 tries to get everything right. I even got shape on the 2. The game was 9-ball, and Efren decided to show off with a hook banana circular follow shot on the 6 to get shape on the 7. To execute this, you need to cheat the pocket just the right amount with lots of topspin and the right speed. If you don't cut it enough, the cue ball stalls and follows forward too much. And if you cut it too much, the cue ball goes down the tangent line too fast and far for the follow to take in time. But at the right angle, the shot is actually fairly easy, and it looks really cool. Like I said before, Efren was just showing off because there are much easier and more reliable ways to play the shot. You can draw back with left spin like this. That was easy, and I executed it well the first time, which wasn't the case with the fancy follow version. You can also straighten the shot more with pocket cheat and use straight draw. You can also cut the ball more and go off 2 rails. I almost went too far, but the out is easy from here. Here, playing 9-ball, Efren's opponent really hooked him on the 1, but he didn't realize Efren was good at kicking off multiple rails. Efren aims these shots intuitively based on countless hours of successful practice and experience. But for mere mortals, the corner 5 system can help you aim this sort of shot. Complete information can be found at the link in the video description. First, it helps to know the benchmark shot that tells you where to target the first rail to send the cue ball 3 rails from one corner to the other. It is usually close to the 2.5 diamond point on a typical pool table under typical conditions. On this table, it is at about 2.6. With Efren's shot, the cue ball path was shifted about 0.6 from the corner, which would require a 0.6 shift up the first rail to still go to the other corner. But the line required to attempt to pocket the 1 is shifted from the corner about 0.9, which would require a 0.9 shift down the first rail. So the net shift is 0.3 down the first rail, putting the required aim point at 2.3, which I've marked with a golf tee. I know it sounds complicated, but it isn't so bad after you learn and practice with the Corner 5 system and learn to see things more visually rather than with numbers. After planning the shot carefully, it only took me a few attempts to pocket the ball. I didn't come off the fourth rail next to the ball like Efren did, but I did pocket the ball. Again, what's amazing is Efren aimed totally intuitively and made it on the first try in a match situation. Here, playing 10 ball, Efren needed to pocket the 1 and jump over the 5 to get shape on the 2. I actually made the shot on the first attempt because I had practiced this sort of shot before, mostly while working on the Billiard University Playing Ability Exam number 3, which contains this and many other advanced shots that sometimes come up in play. For more information, see the link in the video description. If you elevate the back of the cue too much, the cue ball bounces forward too far before drawing back. And if you don't elevate enough, or use too little speed, the cue ball doesn't jump enough or at all to clear the 5. But with the right elevation and speed, the shot works great and it looks awesome. Here, Efren was playing straight pull and used a highly elevated cue to pocket the 14 and get after collision massé to draw back off the 8 for the 13. The cue ball is frozen to the 14, so it was legal to hit forward into the cue ball. This sends the cue ball forward of the tangent line to hit the 8 squarely. The 14 is lined up to the left of the pocket, but shooting toward the 8 throws the 14 into the heart of the pocket. This is another shot that is very similar to one of the shots in BU Exam 3. Again, because I had practiced this skill before, I did fairly well on the first few attempts. This one is closest to what Efren did. This is a one-pocket shot, where Efren decided to bank the 4 off the point of his opponent's pocket to send it toward his pocket. This shot isn't as difficult as it might look, but it does take some practice. Efren didn't pocket the ball, but it does go easily with the right hit. If you hit a little too far inside the point, the 4 will rattle. And if you hit too far out on the point, the 4 will bank away from the end rail, but you will still end up good. What you don't want to do is hit too far inside the point and cause the ball to hang in your opponent's pocket. That would be a disaster. Again, if you hit the right amount of the point, you can pocket the ball. And even if you don't pocket the ball, your opponent won't be happy with the result. Here's another famous Efren one-pocket shot where he kicked off 2 rails to bank the 12 from his opponent's pocket to his. If you don't have good intuition like Efren for aiming 2-rail kicks, the midpoint parallel shift system linked in the video description can help. You first locate the center of the desired ghost ball target. Then you find the midpoint between the cue ball and target. Then you point the cue at the corner and parallel shift to the cue ball. This gives you the ideal line of aim, which I've marked with a golf tee. Because the cue ball is coming into the first rail at a steep angle, side spin is not used here. This shot is ridiculously tough if you expect to pocket the ball. Everything must be perfect, including aim, tip position, and shot speed. If you are a hair off with anything, the shot won't go and things can end badly. You can pocket the ball in your opponent's pocket. You can rattle the ball in front of your opponent's pocket. You can scratch. And you can double kiss the ball and leave it in front of your opponent's pocket. But a non-perfect hit can also work in your favor. You gain a big advantage just by moving the ball from your opponent's pocket area to yours. And you might not leave your opponent with a shot. And you might even fluke the 12 in off the 14. If you try the shot, make sure you have the 12 far enough from the rails. In my early attempts, I had the 12 too close to the side rail as compared to Efren's layout, and I think this caused some of my double kiss misses. In my later trials, I had the 12 farther from the side rail, and it was much less likely to double kiss when the aim was right. It embarrassingly took me 95 attempts to pocket the ball like Efren did, although I might have made it much sooner with some of my double kisses if the 12 were in the right place from the beginning. I knew the shot was hard, but I had no idea it would be this difficult. The fact that Efren made the ball on his first attempt in a match situation astounds me. I bow to the almighty magician. When I did get it to work, I even left good shape for several possible follow-on shots into my pocket, unlike Efren. This is a 9-ball shot Efren faced. I included it in this list because his shot choice was very surprising, and he executed it to perfection. Shooting the 7, he decided to use inside spin. This is what I think he was trying to do. Instead, he had less spin and ran into the 8. A much easier approach would have been to use no side spin, making the shot much easier to aim and execute, and just go up and down the table for shape on the 8 like this. I don't have a clue why he decided to make the shot tougher by using inside, but it is not my place to question the greatest of all time, and he won the game, which is all that really matters. Here, Efren was playing 15-ball rotation, shooting at the 3, and his opponent left him in a really tough position, or so the opponent thought. Efren's only realistic option was to go 2 or 3 rails to attempt to pocket the 3 in the corner. I used 2 systems to help me determine the ideal line of aim for the 3-rail shot, both of which are linked in the video description. First, I used the contact point mirror system to determine the required line of aim into the 3rd rail. I made an adjustment down the rail since the object ball was little more than a ball away from the cushion. Then I counted diamond distances back from this point to see where I needed to aim on the 1st rail using the plus system. I need to aim at a little inside the 6 point on the 1st rail to have the cue ball head 6 diamonds up the 3rd rail. Again, I've marked the ideal line of aim with a golf tee. For more information about these systems, see the linked resource pages. This shot is tough, but it is a lot easier than I thought it would be. The plus system calls for a rolling cue ball with running spin, but from this cue ball position, it is best to use only a little or no side spin. It took me 10 shots to dial in the speed and spin required to pocket the ball. I thought it would take many more, but it really helped knowing the ideal line of aim and having past experience with the plus system. Again, Efren aims these shots using only intuition, but he has practiced them, and many others, more than most people, even other pros. Here's a bonus shot taken from Efren's farewell tour. Efren decided to bank the 10 off 3 cushions up and down the table for the win. This is more of an exhibition or a trick shot, but sometimes this sort of shot is the right play. For more information about how this type of shot works and why it might be used, see the 2 times and 3 times across bank resource page linked in the video description. Obviously, this wasn't the right play here because a simple cut gets the job done. But Efren wanted to show off his amazing skills to the appreciative crowd. If you want to try the shot, be aware that it won't work on a table with slow cloth or dead cushions. I hit my first attempt very well, but didn't have quite enough speed. My stroke was off a little on the second try, but that sometimes happens when using fast speed. I hit the third attempt very well and used enough speed to reach the pocket. This shot is fun and actually not as difficult as you might think. But again, it won't work on a slow table. My table is fairly fast and I still needed to pound the ball to get it to go. As I mentioned, the reason why Efren can make these shots on his first attempt is because he has spent lots of time practicing them to build solid intuition for how to aim and execute them with confidence. And because he has so much skill, he gets lucky more often than the rest of us might. Give the shots a try, they're fun. And if you want to be able to pull them off in actual game situations, practice them enough to build some Efren-like intuition. Good luck with your game from Dr. Dave.